Hear me out. Practice delayed gratification. Why am I saying this? Delayed gratification is pretty much giving up the pleasure of right now for the results for results of the future. Let's just bring an example. You choose to invest instead of spend your money on gambling, or you want to buy that car, huh? You want to buy that car. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I'm driving this. I am driving this. I'm that guy." What about in 5 years' time? What if you invested that money and it could have been doubled, tripled? You know what I mean? So that's the things you're giving up for the moment, momentary pleasure, and you're losing the possibility of having a bigger gain in the future. Not everything is guaranteed in life. However, if you choose to, willingly, give up your, resources for the pleasure of the moment, then it's gonna be hard to have a great future. So pretty much all I'm saying is practice delayed gratification. Let's bring an example. Let's just say you're feeling stressed, you're feeling down, you're feeling moody. What can you do to feel better? Maybe think, what's the issue? Maybe you got some work to do you haven't done. Maybe you have to call someone you haven't, called. These are the things maybe you should do. Maybe you should, go to the gym because you're feeling kind of fat. Or maybe you should read a book because you haven't read any books for years. But what are you going to do? Let me just say, maybe go smoke. Why? It's going to make you feel better at the moment. Go have a drink. That's going to make you feel better for sure. Go to the hub. That's going to make you for sure way better. What about tomorrow? What about the week after? What about the month after? Are you going to be still, doing that? I feel like at some point everyone comes to the roadblock. Like I feel like you are doing those habits, but then you're like, this is not right. So you choose to, get up and, find a solution. I feel like every human gets to that point. And then the moment you kind of hit a roadblock, you just you tend to go back to your old habits, which is instant gratification, which is usually not the most effective and beneficial thing for us for the long term. So, delayed gratification for majority of things is the way to go. I was reading this book. It gave me the idea for this video, Atomic Habits. So pretty much it was saying like our human brain is kind of wired for instant gratification, because if you look at it like logically back in the old times, like thousands of years ago, like humans didn't have opportunities to eat food every day, drink water, rest, procreate. These are the things that humans crave, but they didn't get to do it. So every time they got to do it, they were like very, like they were in the moment, they were enjoying it because they knew like tomorrow they couldn't be alive. Maybe something happened. Maybe an animal attacked them or they died of hunger. So every time they got that opportunity, they were enjoying the moment, but the future wasn't guaranteed. So, but nowadays it's just like the same cravings. Human cravings are the same. Human cravings have been the same for a long time, and you know but it's like the instant gratification, the triggers are still there, like the food, resting, entertainment, procreation, all these things, these are the things that human cravings, humans still crave. So a lot of companies, businesses are taking advantage of these cravings, and their services, their applications, their services, I think I said services two times, but we move. Yeah, pretty much the products that they release to the public are kind of using these cravings to pull people towards their products. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You got to do what you need to do, for your business and whatever. But I'm saying from a consumer standpoint, you got to know what you're consuming. So like, you got to know like why you're like always craving sugar and carbs, because back in the old times you needed those, to, I guess, for tomorrow, to start hunting, moving around, build a house or something, but nowadays it's like you don't need to do that, guys. Like, you have to delay gratification, start dieting, start eating healthier, because in the long term, there is no running from animals or whatever. You don't have to do that. So you have to kind of, what's it called, install some of these habits in you, like, because save that money, put $50 in your savings account every week, do those things for the betterment of your future. Did I say betterment? Is that a word? drop it in the comments, guys. But you know what I mean. It's just like these momentary pleasures always take away things from the future. And it's like, every time, it's like, don't get me wrong, if you do some of these things, once in a while, once a month, once a year, if you have a family gathering, if you drink, if you smoke, blah blah blah, these things, once in the blue moon, it's okay, guys. We are humans. No one is perfect. But when you continuously to do it, and you continuously do those things to escape the stresses you have, to escape the issues you have, then it becomes a problem. Then it becomes addictions, and then it becomes very hard to quit them. So you have to kind of prevent yourself from going there. You have to put blocks, instead of relying on those substances. Try to find a solution. Try some things to, pick yourself up. Honestly, like, when you kind of go into that rabbit hole of like constantly like relying on other things to make yourself better, it becomes a very becomes a very difficult place to, kind of move away. I'm not even gonna lie. From my experience, I'm even gonna say, like, I feel like probably 2 3 years ago, maybe I was mainly, video games. Before I even started going to the gym, I don't know what the heck was it. What was I doing? It was just video games and just nothing, eating horrible food, like all the sugary stuff, and it just made like such a shocking impact on me that, like, it rooted from your confidence to your the way you looked physically. It was just a downward, spiral, goes like all the way to your different parts of your life. So you have to prevent it. But like when you start somewhere, then you can build on it. It's like all these things nowadays. It's just like so many of these things, guys, or like instant gratification. It's just built for us to naturally create towards it, and because it's so abundant everywhere, it's just like it feels impossible to ignore them. Like when you go on this like social media apps, like TikToks or Reels. I don't even have TikTok, but like you keep scrolling, you keep scrolling. I sometimes notice, like, whenever I scroll for maybe for a minute or two, it just feels like your brain goes on like this. It's like a mode that you kind of feel like you're in that you're watching something, but you don't even know what you're doing. You're just like scrolling. It doesn't even feel like you're doing anything. You're just distracted, which is actually crazy. And it's kind of similar to everything, like, I don't know, man. Like instant gratification is something that overall, like, it's not the best thing for the long term. As I said before, delayed gratification is the way to go. So make sure to rely on delayed gratification, guys. Delay those gratifications, because some of the things that may not feel good right now, eventually, because you're gonna get to enjoy the process, and the final result is gonna be much better than this instant gratification, the momentary pleasure you're gonna get. And trust me, guys, trust me, it's gonna be all worth it. Save up that money, invest that money, go to the gym, eat healthier. Don't go to the hub. You know what I mean, guys. Do all these things, and it's gonna be a better future, guys. It's all these things, all these instant gratification things. They just pull you downwards. They just pull you downwards, and it's kind of something that a lot of people. I'm just a regular, guys. I'm just a regular guy. I don't do anything special. I just happen to do. I guess less. Instant gratification, guys. Like I'm not a smoker. I'm not a drinker. I just go to the gym. I try to eat healthy. Sometimes I have like one of those bad days. You overeat, or you eat some of like horrible stuff. Like fast foods and stuff, or some chips, or blah blah blah, all these things. But the point is that, like, you have to give up these instant pleasures, because it's not even good, guys. It's not even good. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? It's like those chemicals in your brain give that like the good feeling, but first of all, they're bad for your body. You get addicted to them. You start relying on them to feel better, and then when they're not there, you start feeling worse, and then you're sacrificing your future. So what's the benefit for that? There is no benefit. There is no benefit. So you just have to cut these stupid pleasures, guys. Don't rely on them. It's pointless. Build the habits for the better future. Delayed gratification, guys, is always way to go. When you go to the gym, guys, for months, you're not gonna see really any progress, like big progress, and then one day when you wake up, you're gonna be like, oh shit, that's me. Why? Because you've been consistently, going to the gym because you're sacrificing your time, but you know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen, and it's to get a better body. And it applies to every single part of your life, from financial to mental, health, everything is connected to everything. And yeah, so make sure to prioritize long term and and delayed gratification, and try to minimize instant gratification. And just know, we gonna get it. Peace.